Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. A very happy new year to each and everyone watching this channel. With new year comes new beginnings, new hopes, new energy and it's spilled over to the channel. K-drama reviews is now Monash. Without your support and love, this channel would not have grown this far. So please continue to give your love and support to this channel. The Indian film industry is an amalgamation of various regional film industries. Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Punjabi, Gujarati, Marathi, Bhojpuri and so on. Today in this video we'll focus on the Hindi film industry known as Bollywood. But why am I talking about Bollywood right now in this channel? You will come to know. Bollywood is known to draw its inspiration from the West. The latest example is the upcoming Forrest Gump remake Lal Ching Chadda. But lately, filmmakers are refocusing on the South Korean silver screen with its similar love for melodrama, intricate storylines, and adrenaline-pumping action. Korean movies are one of the best when it comes to storyline, acting, and plot twists. Over the years, Bollywood has adapted several Korean hit films, officially and unofficially, with some having the same plot or even dialogues from popular Korean movies. It is true that Bollywood loves remakes. Bollywood has been remaking South Korean movies for years and the trend has only grown. Here are some of the popular Hindi movies you didn't know were remakes. Now, let's get started. Number 1 in our list is Dhamaka. Karthik Aaryan starrer Dhamaka is an official remake of the 2014 South Korean film The Terror Live. The original Korean version is about an ambitious news anchorman who monopolizes the live broadcast of a terrorist attack following the explosion of a Mapo bridge on the Han River. As the story unfolds within the narrow confines of a radio booth, Karthik Aaryan is playing the role of the journalist in the Hindi film, which released on Netflix this year. The Terror Live was released in 2013 starring Han Jung-woo. Number 2 in our list is Radhe, released in 2021. Salman Khan's movie Radhe, Your Most Wanted Bhai, is a remake of South Korean movie The Outlaws. The original Korean version was released in 2017. The Korean movie is a famous movie in the country and it features popular actors like Ma Dong-seok and Yoon Kae-sang. Based on real events, this crime action film depicts the Seoul detectives' attempt to keep peace while two Chinese-Korean gangs battle over the turf in the neighborhood. Meanwhile, the Hindi version Radhe involves around Salman Khan's character who's trying to stop drug trafficking in the city. Number 3 in our list is Bharat, released in 2019. After Radhe, another Salman Khan film with Korean influences was Bharat, which was based on South Korean drama movie Ode to My Father, which was released in 2014, starring Hwang Jung-min and Yoon Jin Kim. It's a story about a man who longs to be reunited with his father and his sister. They had been separated in a war-torn and politically unstable area. Amid the time of Korean War, a young boy vows to take care of his family, marked the beginning of a lifelong promise spanning for over 60 years. Coming up is Teen, a 2016 movie. This mystery thriller film, released in 2016, is a remake of 2013 South Korean film Montage. It's a story of a woman who loses her daughter in a kidnapping case that was never solved. 15 years later, a kidnapper exactly copies the unsolved cases. The original stars Jung-hwa, Kim Sang-hoon, Song Yang-cheng. The Hindi version stars Amitabh Bachchan as the grandfather who visits a police station regularly, desperate to find the kidnapper and the murderer of his granddaughter. Vidya Balan plays the police inspector who helps him with the case. Number 5 in our list is Rocky Handsome, which was released in 2016. John Abraham's Rocky Handsome is an official remake of the South Korean action classic The Man from Nowhere. It was South Korea's highest grossing film in 2010. The film follows the story of a mysterious and a shady man, Won Bin, who embarks on a bloody rampage when the only person who seems to understand him is kidnapped. Now we go to the 6th movie in the list, Do Love Song Ki Kahani, the Hindi film which was released in 2016. The romantic drama Do Love Song Ki Kahani was a remake of the 2011 South Korean movie Always. The Hindi version features Randeep, Hooda and Kajal Agrawal in the lead roles. It's the story around an ex-boxer and a blind woman who finds solace in each other, but they go through many hurdles in order to be with each other. The Korean movie starred popular stars such as Jo Ji-sub and Han Hyo-jun in the lead roles. Number 7 in our list is the 2015 movie Sing Is Bliing. It is a 2015 Hindi language action comedy movie. It is a remake of the Korean film My Wife is a Gangster Part 3. The Hindi film features Akshay Kumar, Amy Jackson, Lara Dutta and KK Menon in lead roles. My Wife is a Gangster 3 is a 2006 Korean film. It is a sequel of My Wife is a Gangster 2. A Ryong, a daughter of a giant mafia group in Hong Kong, is wrongfully accused for killing the boss of Black Dragon, the biggest rival, and is threatened to leave the country. Missing her mother, who had to leave the family for some reason so deadly, she insists on going to Korea, where her mother might be now, until things get settled. Number 8 in our list is Prem Ratan Dhan Payo. A 2015 Salman Khan Sonam starrer was based on Masquerade. Suraj Bharaj Satya is the last person you'll expect to be inspired by a Korean film. Unlike most of his peers, hypnotized by thrillers, he looked at a period film for inventiveness. A humble acrobat standing in for a king, both played by Lee Byung-hun, made way for Bhai, and in the place of historical intro, we got dollops of sanskar. The historical detailing and the scale of the original was sure-footed, but in our Desi version, it only cared about making Bhai grander. In 2012, Masquerade, though it places his own life in danger, a look-alike commoner, Lee Byung-hun, secretly takes the place of a poisoned king to save his country from falling into chaos. 9 in our list is Jaspa, which was released in 2015. Sanjay Gupta remade yet another film from South Korea. His Aishwarya Rai Bachchan starrer Jaspa is a remake of 2007 film 7 Days starring Yoon Jin Kim and Park Hae-soo. Jaspa's narrative revolves around an attorney forced to defend an unsavory criminal after her daughter is kidnapped. The film marked Aishwarya's return on screen after a 5-year break. 7 Days featured Yoon Park Jim, Park Hee-seon in lead roles. Number 10 in our list is Ek Villain, which was released in 2014. The popular 2014 action thriller Ek Villain is a remake of the movie I Saw the Devil. The 2010 starring Lee Byung-hun and Choi Min-sik, Ek Villain featured Shraddha Kapoor and Siddharth Malhotra in lead roles. The story of both films is almost the same, with a man trying to take revenge from a serial killer for murdering his fiancée. Ek Villain received a lot of praise from critics and audience alike, just like the original movie. The 11th movie, Janta Bai Ki Love Story, which was released in 2013. It is a Hindi romantic comedy film. The film stars Vivek Oberoi opposite Neha Sharma. The film is a remake of the 2010 South Korean film My Gangster Lover starring Park Jun-hyun and Jang Yoo-min. This is a story about a thug who cannot fight but acts like a tough guy, who then meets his new neighbor. The man is intrigued by his spitfire personality, and the bickering duo realize they may be perfect for each other. 12 is Barfi, which was released in 2012. Randeep Kapoor and Priyanka Chopra's second movie together after Anjana Anjani. This Hindi movie has scenes from the Korean movie Lover's Concerto. The Hindi movie is set in 1970, which depicts the story of a deaf-mute boy and his relationship with two women, with one of them being autistic. In the original Korean version, a young man played by Cha Tae-hyun remembers the complex relationship he's formed with two teenage girls, Lee Yoon-ju and Son Yi-jin. The movie was released in 2012. 13 in our list is Murder 2, which was released in 2011. Chaser redefined the South Korean thriller genre. South Korea, the famous for reinventing the thriller genre with each and every new entrant, showcased another gem in The Chaser. In Murder 2, unlike the steamy chemistry of Mallika Sherawat and Emraan Hashmi in Murder one which was inspired by Unfaithful, but that's another story. Now, coming to the second part, left no scope for the fans to perspire. All in all, it is an uninspired Korean remake. The Korean movie tells about a disgraced police detective turned pimp who becomes involved in a breathless race against the time to catch a psychopathic serial killer after one of his girls goes missing. He has just 12 hours to find evidence against the killer before the bureaucratic Seoul Police Department are forced to release him to continue his reign of terror. The Chaser was released in 2008, starring Kim Yoon-seok, Ha Jung-poo and Seo Young-hee in lead roles. Number 14 in our list is the 2008 Hindi movie Ugly or Pagli. When the original Korean movie was released in its home country, it took everyone by surprise by becoming the highest grossing romantic comedy of all time in Korea. In fact, it has a dedicated fan base in most Asian countries. Ugly or Pagli, the 2008 Hindi comedy movie starring Ranveer Shore and Mallika Sherawat, tells the story of a strange relationship between a young engineering student and a girl he meets on the train, while the original Korean version includes the college student Cha Tae-hyun, who becomes involved with the self-centered young woman Jun Ji-hyun, who humiliates him at every turn. Ugly or Pagli has many scenes taken directly from the original. Now, I'll leave it to you to decide whether it's a remake or not. 15 in our list is the 2008 released movie Rock On. Would you believe if I tell you that Rock On was inspired by Lee Jun-ik's South Korean movie The Happy Life? Lee Jun-ik's film is about a band of boys looking to reunite. This basically inspired Farhan Akhtar's debut vehicle as an actor. Like the original, the director Abhishek Kapoor took the core idea about 4 band members and garnished it with original and distinctive moments. Though the inspiration has never been spoken of, if you see the original, you know the seed of the idea. In the version, 4 musical friends failed to make it big as a band due to misunderstanding. Years later, they reignite their dreams by forgetting the woes and embark on a journey they had left incomplete by setting the stage for a rock and roll reunion. The 2007 movie The Happy Life starred Jung Ji-young, Kim Yoon-seok, Kim Sang-woo and Jang Gyun-suk. 16 in our list is Avarapan, the Hindi movie which was released in 2007. Emraan Hashmi's popular movie Avarapan is a remake of the 2005 South Korean movie A Bitter-Sweet Life. The Hindi movie revolves around the gangster who's tasked to keep an eye on his boss's mistress, who is a Pakistani girl. Avarapan was highly praised by the critics as well as the audience. Meanwhile, the South Korean movie featured Lee Byung-hun and Shim Min-na in lead roles. 17 and last in our list is Zinda, which was released in 2006. The iconic Oldboy inspired Sanjay Dutt, John Abraham starrer Zinda, which was released in 2006. Sanjay Gupta made a career of being inspired by foreign films. In Zinda, he spawns from Park Chan-wook's masterpiece The Oldboy. The original famously renewed global interest in Korean cinema for showing revenge in a meditative yarn and violence hammered with poetic style. The original story goes like this. A man is held captive for no apparent reason for years. He is given a cell phone, money and expensive clothes and released, unless he finds the identity of his captor. An even worse fate awaits him. The Korean film was released in 2003 starring Choi Min-sik, Yoo Ji-tae and Kang Hae-jung. With this, we come to the end of this list. There is another movie called Blind, which is yet to be released. That is a bonus in this list. Blind is an upcoming Hindi language crime thriller film starring Sonam Kapoor in the lead role along with Purab Kohli in supporting roles. Blind is a remake of the 2011 Korean film of the same name, which centers around a blind police officer in search of a serial killer. The Korean version starred Kim Ha-neul and Yo Seung-ho in lead roles. These are some of the Bollywood movies that were remade or inspired from Korean movies. Some of them received appreciation while some received very low rating. Anyways, it's your choice whether to watch the original movie or its remake. If you want to watch these Bollywood movies, you can watch some of them on YouTube and others on platforms like Hotstar, Zee and Sony. The Korean movies can be watched on Rakuten Wiki, Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube, etc. I have already posted a video on where to watch Korean dramas and movies. If you have not watched that video, I'll leave the link in the description below. Now, that's all in this video. Now, I would like to know which Bollywood movie did justice from their Korean remake. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. If you liked this video, please click on like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell icon. I'll be back again with another interesting video. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.